Hey, it's Nicole.
This is Tiffany.
I'm Carol.
It's Kamari.
This is Saya, and this is what keeps us together.
Basically, the group chat in your head.
Living rent free.
Bow, bow, bow.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Right.
Yeah. That's the way to go.
And leave a review if you've listened to other episodes and you like them.
Only if it's good, though. If you hate it, keep
that to
scrolling.
yourself.
No one asked. No one asked.
Mind your business.
So, if you guys notice, we have a special guest today.
Hello.
My niece is here.
Hello.
Kamari.
Hi.
She listens to our podcast occasionally, I think.
Maybe
and-
never.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay, good.
So we decided to bring her on today. Yeah. Are you excited to be here?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the people a little something about yourself?
About myself?
Mhm.
I'm Kamari. I'm a high schooler.
All right, great.
All right.
Yay, great.
Welcome.
Great intro. Okay.
Well, welcome. So we like to kick things off with the song of the week.
Song of the week.
It's just a little moment where we like to produce how we're feeling through song. Anybody want to go first? Anyone feel led?
I mean, I guess I can go first.
Go ahead.
All right. So my song of the week, I was thinking about a couple of conversations we've had this week, and all that we've been going through, even with this podcast, and but even before that, where we've been at. We even talked in the last episode about us, like what would our lives look like in 20 years when we're dealing with things we haven't dealt with before. So I was like, I think the first song that came to mind was like "Pieces of Me" by Lettuce.
Oh, I love that song.
Love that
Yeah.
song. Cause when you look at my face. I love that song.
Yes. But it talks about
That's
love.
not where I thought
and-
the first song you were going to sing.
These are the pieces
That part.
of me.
Mhm.
Like every woman I know, I'm complicated for show.
Wow, good job, Lettuce.
Thanks. Wait, let me put my hair up. I look like her. Hey, no,
Okay,
never mind.
Anyway, I
Go
thought
ahead.
that song was appropriate for this past week. So,
that's a good one.
yeah.
I really like
Oh.
Lettuce. She's like underrated.
Very.
Agreed.
Yes.
She's
I love
so
her.
good.
There's so many singers that are underrated. I really hate that for the industry because can I choose who I like?
I
I mean,
can.
you can.
I know, but I feel like they make it so hard to like you don't have the same access to people that you like that are
Yeah.
underrated as you do to
Right.
people that are.
Yeah, that's
you know
Well,
what I mean?
now we do
Agreed.
because we have more than just the radio. Before it was just we're limited to what's on the radio or like buying their album. Now we can go on Spotify, the internet.
That's fair. I guess what I'm really getting at is I feel like there are a lot of talented people that don't get as much
Enough
shine,
shine.
which
Oh.
are
Yeah.
because of the marketing
Mhm.
dollars and all that. And I think that that's chaotic. But
Totes agree. Who's going next?
I'll go next because I changed my song and so
Okay.
now I'm ready to sing it.
Yeah.
Because of the Supreme Court hearings that were happening this week, and I just
Okay.
feel like there's a lot of like angst. I've been hearing parties. You're a black girl. You're a black girl. You're a black girl. A lot in my head. So that's really my song for the week.
Man, I think we texted all. I wasn't gonna watch it, and then I started watching it, and I regretted watching it. Like,
Yeah, I couldn't. Matter of fact, I didn't. And then I know that we started talking about what Cory Booker said to her. And
Yeah.
then I purposely tried to avoid it so that I wouldn't be like a ball of tears. And then it came on the radio. I'm in the car like, this is how black men should love our black women.
it was, but the rest of it, you would have been like,
I hate
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was tragic, but I did find like solace in like people reading Ted Cruz afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Because it,
Mhm.
I mean, was
he's an idiot.
absolutely ridiculous. But
Well,
Oh, I like that. That's a good song.
thanks.
yeah.
Why are
I don't
you-
know any of the other lyrics. That's the only part of the song I know.
Is that
That's all
is it a
that
song or
matters.
is
I
it
don't
just
know.
a
I tried to
soundbite?
Google it, couldn't find it, so I just decided to rap the part I knew. You can hear it on Instagram Reels.
There. Kamari, do you have a song?
Yeah, I changed it also
Oh.
to Love by Keisha Cole.
Oh,
Oh.
are you gonna sing it?
Love. No one else is gonna jump in.
Yeah, I chose it because when we were deciding on the playlist for prom, people kept requesting it, and then I played it in class, and like everyone was singing it. So,
Wow,
yeah.
that's
Wow.
shocking.
All right.
Okay.
I did not expect that to be the song that
Right.
transcended generations.
Oh.
It's so good.
It is.
though.
It is. It's really fun to sing.
It is.
Sing.
None of y'all jumped in. So.
All right. You know.
I knew my notes,
just knew
but
you
that
had
wasn't it.
We just knew you had
Don't jump
it.
in.
All right. All right.
Need some background for that one.
You know what? Also, I love that song when what's his face, OT Genesis, like
Yes!
he did it
Yes.
to like
I don't know if I know this.
what is he, a Crip?
Wasn't she really pissed off about that?
Yes.
She was, but his
so
song
mad.
is so
It's
bad, but
actually
it's so good. It is so
Yes. Let me see. OT.
Oh goodness, I heard Googling it.
good. Okay,
I'm actually gonna play this.
while you're finding it, do you want to go with your song?
Yeah, that's fine. This week has been really crazy, and I keep going and going like the Energizer Bunny, but Tyra reminded me of this song, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect because this is exactly what I did last night. Go lay down, go lay down. I'm about to go lay down, lay down, oh, lay down.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, God. Yeah.
Who sings that?
No, I think it's like a TikTok.
It's
Yeah.
a TikTok that people have added their own either spin or they've added an octave
I
up or
was. I
down.
heard that song in
Yeah.
harmony. So I thought
Yes.
it was a real song.
Voices to that good.
Not in harmony.
I thought her. She started singing into the kid she's nannying for nap time.
That needs to happen every day.
Right.
You start to okay.
Be like the
I'm gonna need
cleanup
you to
song.
go lay down. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
I love it.
Me too.
I don't know. It's one of my
Are
favorites.
you playing OT Genesis?
Pushed it twice.
You got a
Can't-
song, Carol? While we wait.
Oh yeah.
No.
Okay.
But I'm really excited because tomorrow we're gonna go see the Read Live.
Yay!
Which I'm so excited about. I love their podcast and they're recording, I guess, some of their comedy album tomorrow.
Oh,
which is what
nice.
we're gonna get a chance to see. So I'm super excited. So I'm just gonna do their intro. Oh, happy day.
Oh happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh happy day.
Oh, it's a lot of. Sorry, I'm gonna beat you, Ron.
You ain't never heard the good churchy like
I did.
It's like half beat, but then it's like you get real spicy with it.
Yeah, but I think you run like the white people's. What is it though? 1 and the 3.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right. So that wraps up something.
Please wrap it up. Wrap it up.
That too.
This is OT Genesis version.
I'm sick. I'm sick. Come on, OT. Come on, OT. Just look it up.
But also, you have to watch the video. But you see,
Not when I knew it. Never knew it was Chris.
No, but honestly,
goodness
you
gracious.
can't just listen to the song. You have to watch the video.
It's ridiculous. Okay, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say
I mean, I understand why she was mad, but like, it is hilarious.
hilarious.
Like, probably one of the best covers I've ever heard in my entire
Not
life.
the best cover you've ever heard.
Yep.
I'm sick.
Yep.
That
So
bar
it's
is
not Whitney.
low.
My Dolly Parton song anymore.
Right.
Nah.
No.
Okay, all right.
The OT Genesis is definitely just
Not
taking
Amazon.
that coveted spot. I mean, the
The
visuals.
force with which she said no.
It's the visuals alone for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sick. Will we start the next segment?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Cultural reference.
Please. Move on.
Shout out to OT Genesis.
Go
though.
lay down.
I need to.
Go lay down.
All right. So this week we're having a conversation around same-sex friendships and intimacy. And the reason that this came up as a topic was because of these two girls. And we're about to play the clip that she shared on her Instagram right now.
Normalize platonic life partners. This is for everyone who believes that their soulmate is their best friend. So my best friend is my soulmate. She's my platonic love of my life. She's who I choose to do life with. And after 5 fucking years of long distance, we finally manifested a way for her to move to LA to be with me. Now that it's happening, all of our friends and family are like, are y'all fucking crazy? I get it. It's a big ass gesture to move across the world to be with somebody else. But what I think is funny is that we would not be questioned as much about this if we were lovers.
That's a lot.
We've been friends for 11 years. That's longer than most couples have been together. And we see a life together. We want to buy a house together. We want to start a retirement fund together. We might even adopt a child together and raise it as friends. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if marriage is not for you and you want to start a life with your best friend, fucking do it. I don't think that our love and commitment for each other should pale in comparison to romantic love. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your name? April?
Yeah. April, and I don't know her friend's name.
Her life partner. Put some respect on it.
Okay, I thought I was doing good not saying girlfriend, so.
Yeah.
Renee and April.
Renee and April. All right.
What's their handle?
We're giving them a lot of play.
Right.
No, I'm just saying sometimes when we
We'll just have to tag it. It's
okay, that's a lot. Never mind.
like
All right.
April Lexi Lee, but you'd have to spell it
We'll
out.
tag it. Don't look out for it to be on
That's a
IG. We
lot.
tag people. All right, so then that leads us to the discussion of this topic and trying to determine exactly how we all feel about this. The definition of intimacy is a close familiarity or friendship, closeness, a private, cozy atmosphere. So if
That's
you're
interesting.
using that as the definition, do y'all have? Well, do you agree? Do you have feelings about?
I think we should let's vote first. Who thinks that them?
No, this is going like.
So nervous.
Wait.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, let's have a couple questions. Who thinks that that your life partner has to be someone that you're in love with?
Has to
Life
be?
How are we defining life partner?
Mhm.
Like,
I'm just saying, like,
Yes.
I'm just thinking off of like when you hear the word life partner. Do you think it should be? Does it have to be someone that you're in love with or love romantically in love
but
with?
can you have more than one?
Oh.
Okay.
Spicy.
Hey, you're putting a wrench in things. Let's just start with, let's start with my first question. Do you believe that your life partner has to be someone you're in love with, period? Regardless of the quantity. Raise your hand if you believe yes.
I have so many caveats to this, but I think
There are a lot of different.
I think just
Listen, all right,
initial.
we vote on 3. 1.
Wait,
raise your hand if your
Yeah.
life partner has to be someone you're in love with. 1, 2, 3. No
okay.
one.
So nobody
Okay.
put their hands
All
up.
right,
All
all
right.
right. So, my other question is: when you think of intimacy, do you think of a romantic intimacy or just a closeness? So, raise your hand if intimacy you equate that with romantic. Thing. Oh, okay.
All right.
All
So
right.
who put their hands up? Because
The three of us did.
Okay, so Tiffany, Carol, and Saya,
Yes.
we put our hands up. Do you
And-
want to talk on why?
Yeah. So, and no one raised their hand for that we believe that a life partner has to be a romantic relationship. None of us
Right.
did. So essentially, so who agrees with this line of thinking for Annie and Renee? Raise your hand if you agree with Annie and Renee's line of thinking. I'm okay with it.
Well, okay. So is the question, are you okay with it, or would you choose it for yourself?
Oh.
Ooh, both. Let's say, are you
that's a
okay with?
different- that's a different question.
Let's say, are you okay with it?
Oh, yes.
I'm
Yeah.
Okay, we're all
absolutely
okay with it. Would you choose it for yourself?
I feel
Absolutely
like
not.
If I were in the position where like I feel like there's no way I'm ever gonna find love, but I still want to have the experience of like having a kid and doing that stuff, I wouldn't mind doing it with my best friend. If like we're both in a place like years later, like 50, 60 years old, and like I want to have a kid, but I want to have a kid alone, I don't see a problem with raising a kid with your best friend or adopting a kid with your best friend, but I wouldn't be like 20 saying, this is my life now.
I completely agree with that, but
Mhm.
my question becomes, how does then finding it, if you think that, what are you closing yourself off to? If you think that you're choosing it because you won't find love, and if you do find love, how does it complicate that relationship?
Yeah, because I was thinking like, because just they're young, they could still find love.
Yeah.
I mean, you
But
can be old and still find it.
Also,
True. Yes.
one thing I didn't hear in the video is that they are not dating anyone.
Later on, they do talk about
Yeah.
they do date other people.
There's
So-
a text piece that like where she like writes out kind of like what it means, and we should probably explain that. It just they talk about how their love for each other is platonic,
Mm-hmm.
not sexual, and that they at most hug sporadically and on occasion, but they define themselves as platonic life partners, a relationship that combines qualities from friendship, marriage, and polyamory, because they do intend to date other people.
But just not each other.
Correct.
And the marriage portion would be like the buying of the house, raising a family,
yeah.
things of that nature. So they just don't have any sexual relationship or part of their
or romantic,
romantic.
I think is also important to include.
So does this mean if they're utilizing the marriage piece, like we have the son, so I'm mom on the paperwork, she's mom on the paperwork. So is that the same with the house? Like if they're in polyamorous relationships, somebody else comes in, is this person now allowed to say some claim in something? Or
there has to be. I think that's also part of the polyamory portion. Like there has to be rules,
right?
In terms of like, because I would assume if, sake of argument, if you and I are in this, this intimate friendship, and we decide, platonic life partners, we have a lot of things in paper together, but our partners that are in and out, because we're not married, obviously, are not a part of that.
Right. And I would also think that that would mean like,
not married?
Well, listen, they're not married.
They're not
right
married
now.
Correct.
But, okay.
Well, I don't know that means, to me, marriage is romantic. So I don't know that you would decide to get married because you're platonic life partners. But that is my definition of that.
You mean not
yeah. Well, they said on the thing that they were usually part of, not the legal sense. Okay, sorry.
I think, because I think like adopting a child, buying a house are things that we in our minds equate to marriage relationships. So that I think with that aspect.
And also, quote unquote, starting a life together usually is marriage. And I think that's what they mean when they say marriage.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. In my head, it would work out like if you and I decide to buy a house together and we are 50-50 on the house and I get married, then it's not a third. It is half.
And y'all two split your half.
And a quarter. You know what I mean?
But so your partner has to then move in with you and your best friend?
Not necessarily.
I guess that depends on like what your house situation is.
That is another conversation. I've seen where some people are like, okay, well, depending on what you decide to do, you can either half the half or maybe the other person buys you out. And then it solely becomes their home. And then,
are you still a platonic life partner with that person?
What's happening here?
I mean, I would like to think that I probably will know y'all have us to the end of time. So, right? So, I mean, we can get at it if you want to get at it.
Stay ready.
Let me know when I need to back up. Girl, run into the car.
I'm not fighting.
I'm just saying, I'm going to know y'all forever. So I would like to think that y'all are some level of a life partner, but we don't live together.
But I would like y'all to live on my street.
I would like that.
That would be fun.
That would be really fun.
I don't want y'all to live in my house.
I look at houses in your area. And I also
They're building a new neighborhood.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Patrick.
That's me. I also look to see how far they are from your house.
It's around the corner. They're building a new development in my neighborhood.
Okay, wait. I'm not ready for this conversation. I'd like to have it after this podcast episode, but I'm very excited.
I'll send you the link.
All right.
I think from the standpoint of, I consider you guys my best friends, and like I don't anticipate anything like happening to our friendship. I do hope we maintain these friendships for the rest of our lives. But I consider, no, there is no but in that sense. Thank you very much. But do I consider you to be like life partners? Like, would this friendship and bond be sufficient enough for me if I didn't have a romantic interest? Like, to me, it's very different. It's very...
But do you feel that way because you're married already?
No, because I felt like that when y'all were my best friends and I didn't have Patrick.
So what?
Like, I miss intimacy. It was like one of my leading things of like really missing a relationship.
Okay.
Not even just like casually dating, but like really missing like getting to know someone to that degree romantically. But I also wonder what my love language plays into that, because my love language is touch. It's my leading one. Like, I don't know that a platonic life partnership would be right if that is my love language.
I also wonder too, I don't remember how old they are. They look young. I know if marriage isn't something that necessarily is a goal of yours, which a lot of people, I think a younger generation coming up, and even like our generation too, I think people are just comfortable with the fact that they either may not get married or they just don't want to get married. So if getting married is not like in a goal or in the cards for you, I feel like this sounds more palatable or more something that I would be willing to do, because I don't care about getting married.
It's giving me Golden Girls.
Oh,
interesting.
Like in a good way or a bad way? You just scrunched up your face.
No, like no, in a good way. Because when I think of like really close platonic relationships, sometimes I think of them. I think of even living single.
Oh, true.
Where, you have a bunch of friends that they do so many things together. I mean, and even for a newer generation, Grownish, how they all live in the one house. And what is her name? Nomi? Did she have Nomi has the baby, and they like are all collectively binding together to kind of raise the baby. Those are the things I think of. And I mean,
but I don't know. So it also, this does not seem like out of necessity. So most people, especially in this area, they have roommates out of necessity because it's really hard to afford to live or buy a decent home by yourself. But these two women like were intentionally made plans,
right?
To live together. So is that this? Do you guys feel like that's different?
Well, I think it's interesting in the standpoint of like wanting to like own and build with someone else. I feel like you have more equity when you're not doing it alone. And I think as single women, we know the wealth gap. Like, it's much harder to do single than it is with someone else.
Yeah.
So I think that there is that aspect of it, but there's also like a safety aspect of it. Like, even if if I was single at this point and could afford a home, I don't know that I would be looking for a single family home because it would feel safer to me to be living in a community, to like have an aspect of people that might notice if something happened to me or if I went missing, or to have a condo where you have to have a fob to get in. You know what I mean? It's not just like me and my front door and my back door and maybe a dog. You know what I mean? Like there's like an aspect of like community that is more comfortable in like being a single woman that's not just financial.
You ain't got to worry about me. You ain't got to. I live in my single family home with cameras on every door. Living by myself.
See, I don't. Y'all know, I enjoy being by myself thoroughly. So if you put me in a house by myself, I'm probably living my entire best life.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I wouldn't do this.
And that
means another person got to live in the house.
I mean, the community
you're an introvert without saying you're an introvert.
I mean, right. Like community, I don't need it.
No, you don't need community.
I mean, I get enough at church. So
that is a community.
Right. First of all, we're not even in person the whole time.
I've been in person for the entire panorama. So
that also is community.
Yeah, but that's the only community I need. That's like my cat.
You don't need community in your house.
Right. Okay. Right. No. I want to be able to go
outside and get it.
And like when Carol mentioned living in the same neighborhood, I'm like, why? So y'all have to walk over to my house? Like, I know you in here.
I mean, I believe in boundaries.
No, I'm not. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because of the point out you banging on the table.
Yeah, like of all people.
I was giving an example of knocking on the door. Not
Yeah.
Made it clear.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Anyway.
Yes, how do you feel about all this?
So
the deep side.
Yeah. In all honesty, when I first watched the video, I was like, this works for maybe straight people and asexual. Because I'm not, that level of intimacy is basically what you're getting in a lesbian relationship. So it was giving.
You don't have
okay,
sex?
but wait, for you, would the equivalent be?
I meant everything else.
For you, would the equivalent be you living with a man?
Yeah.
Okay, so if that, like, do you still think that is the case?
They didn't put gender on the relationship. They just
but it was same
two
sex.
friends.
We put that on it.
On it. Okay. Well,
that's like the
if that didn't
straight
apply.
way of looking at it.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Right.
That's our bad.
Yeah, sorry.
So if you took out same sex and just said platonic relationship, regardless of what that looked like.
Yeah. But
yes.
I guess.
Why are you look disgusted?
Because I'm just like, I don't have a problem with it, but I can't see myself ever doing it.
Why?
I did it.
Tell me now why.
I'm not even a person that needs to necessarily be by myself, but when I think of the intimacy that takes, I'm good. Like,
so you still feel like it's work
with someone?
And if you're not having sex, it's not worth the work?
It's not that.
Honestly,
no,
yes.
It's not that. But I can enjoy our relationship without us living in the same home. Is my only point.
But it's not even just like the home aspect for me. Like, I don't like trying to open like a 401k together.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to explain to everybody. Is this your husband? No. Is it your wife? No.
But
Who is it? Don't worry about it. It's just
you're also kind of stuck. Like, if there's anything that ever happened in the friendship, you're just like,
yeah, because then
that's what marriage is too.
Yeah, but the residual questions, are like, are we each other's like emergency contacts? Like, are we? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it becomes, are we each other's beneficiaries? Like, if there's something that happens to me, like, are you now responsible for the mortgage all by yourself? And there's no like marriage license. So like, what's the situation that happens?
But this can all be put on paper to.
No, it definitely can. But like, am I with my friend going to go through the work of figuring all that out?
Look, I'll help you find you another place. Where do you want to be at?
Not another place.
But are we saying that because this is not like society, like normal? Is that why we're saying that? Because we only equate life partners to romantic relationships?
No, I just understand what I like.
Yeah, I think this is just like
I'm just explaining why I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I respect people that do it.
Right.
I'm just explaining why it's not right for me. But like, even like Sid, she doesn't want to get married. Sorry, Sydney is my best friend, one of my best friends, and she was talking about how she.
We love you, Sid. We love you, Sid.
Right. Now all of a sudden you all in.
Oh my god, she's not one of these hoe strangers.
Clearly, we love you, Sid. Though.
We do love you, Sid.
And she, last I checked, I know I keep asking because I'm like, has it changed? Is it going to change? I don't know. But she doesn't have a desire to get married. But she was like, my perfect situation is to have a house that's next to her boyfriend, her longstanding boyfriend, that on 2 separate properties, but they have a tunnel that connects them to each other. I can be alone when I want, and I can come see you when I want.
That's why me and Sid.
Honestly, that's a game changer.
Wait a minute. I think
that community.
I mean, in all seriousness, I think that's how Harry and I have lasted so long, because he works the way he works and he's home for like maybe 6 hours.
I hate you. But it's interesting. I think maybe that should be our next episode. There is a house that is built like that.
Huh. Where?
I sent it to Sid. I saw a long time ago on Instagram. It's probably somewhere out west. And I sent it to her, and I was like, "Oh my god, it exists!" So
Sid was like, "First of all, I got my plans right here. I already drew it out."
Right. That would be very innovative. Anyways, so I think that even in romantic life partnerships, like it's not a one size fits all. Everyone creates their own marriage. So it's interesting to me that someone creates a platonic situation like this, but I don't know. I guess I would just be scared. I feel like when money gets involved, when property gets involved, like things get a little bit different.
Also, when you add another person to it, right? Yeah. So you're
like a kid.
Not only kid as they get older, right, and more independent. But I'm talking about when you guys get in a serious polyamorous relationship with someone, y'all start spending years together because y'all enjoy each other's company. This works for y'all, even though it may not be a marriage or whatever. Somebody's gonna feel some type of way about something.
Yeah.
So there's just an added piece.
Are we also now automatically in a poly relationship?
I was wondering the same thing.
If you add, if one of us decides it wouldn't be romantic,
right. But if you're considering someone to be your primary, which is how it sounded like she defined her friend, like if we own property together and I've only been dating you for 5 months, like.
My only thing is like if one of them gets serious about someone and they do have a kid, but the two want to move out, where does the kid go?
That's a good question.
It's like when
it's like custody.
It is like when someone gets a dog and they're like,
okay,
the dog's coming with me.
Or when people divorce,
fight over dogs.
When people get divorced,
just keep on the kids.
Or they break up.
I mean, and I've been in that situation too.
That's a weird situation to bring a kid into.
I just feel like it's different.
I wonder how that application process would go.
What? For adopting?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know, because can single people adopt?
Yeah, but it's really hard. But I don't know. I've never heard of any cases of this attempt to adopt.
Yeah,
this
like
type of relationship. So I wonder what the situation is.
We see it on Tyler Perry movies and Lifetime.
Oh, Jesus.
Where single people adopt and they have to jump through hoops, but
thank you for this test case, Nicole.
Tyler Perry. All right.
Okay, so next follow-up. Do you guys feel like soulmates have to be can your friends be your soulmate, or does it have to be like a romantic partner?
I think they can be one of your soulmates.
So you believe in multiple soulmates?
Yeah. Well, I feel like there are friend soulmates. Like there's a friend soulmate, and then I feel like you can have a romantic soulmate. I feel like you can meet a friend that's like, this person was supposed to be my best friend. This is who I was supposed to be best friends with. Mm-hmm. And then there's also romantic soulmate.
Do you think they can be at the same time?
Yes. Yeah. And I also feel like they can also be the same person. I don't feel like it necessarily has to be two separate people.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do you think that Because I know like a lot of times in like dating situations, it'll be like, oh, if like the timing had been different, this could have been different. Do you think that is ever the case for soulmates, or that it is like?
I think it's an excuse.
I agree.
Ooh.
Because if they're your soulmate, it shouldn't be a wrong time.
Okay. Interesting.
Why?
Come on.
Because they're your soulmate. That's supposed to be who you are supposed to be destined to end up with.
Yeah, end up with. That doesn't mean that our journeys are supposed to align at the time.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying in the aspect of people who say like, oh yeah, I met this person years ago. That should have been that was my soulmate. But then y'all never get back together. If you get back together and end like, okay, yes, you're my soulmate. We just met at the wrong time at that point. But you can't say that's my soulmate, but then y'all never end up together because then that wasn't your soulmate.
So, okay, so you...
But is that if you end up with someone else? Or is that...
I feel like if it's not the person you ever, like, that you ever end up with, then I don't feel like it's your soulmate.
So you don't think you can miss opportunity with your soulmate?
No. I don't.
So you think that no matter what, your souls will always find each other and you'll be together at some point?
Thanks.
I agree with that aspect. I feel like if your soulmate, there is, like, some tie into destiny and, like, you can't miss what's yours.
Yeah.
See, I feel like you can mess it up, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like you can have a soulmate and then you're not together because of life or human nature or whatever. And just because they're your soulmate doesn't mean that you're going to end up together.
I agree with that.
And how are they your soulmate?
Because I just feel like your soulmate doesn't have to be permanent.
You can that you ever actually get a chance to be with your soulmate. You could like know, oh, this person is my soulmate, but I'm
life circumstances, whatever.
I mean, I'm thinking if you're even talking about if there's only supposed to be one person, does that mean that at all times they were always within your own race or your own region?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is that if I believe in soulmates, and I could think that we didn't end up together, then I would then maybe think that you could not meet your soulmate, which to me then is like, what's the point?
See, I feel like that's viable. I feel like you can have a soulmate that you might not
ever meet.
Yeah, you might not either meet or for whatever reason, circumstances, life
to think that.
Wait, then for you as soulmates, do you have one?
See, I have a hard time believing that even in marriage, that like one person is supposed to be everything for you. Like that's a really hard concept for me to grapple with. So for me, a soulmate feels
boxed in.
Not a stretch. It just feels like I don't know if a soulmate can be limited to one person because I just feel like we're constantly changing, we're constantly evolving. So I don't know. I just feel like I don't know if I believe that one person solely is your soulmate.
That's interesting. I don't know that a soulmate means that they have to be an end all be all. You get everything out of this person. But I think that if I felt like if we were made for multiple people, I don't know that that marriage would mean as much to me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I mean, if we're talking about it in the context of friendship, like we are, like we're friends, but we also, each of us have friends outside of this group, even though y'all shade me for my friends that I have outside of us. And I don't shade y'all for the friends that y'all have.
Is that true?
That is, because I embrace it.
Is that true?
Not always.
Okay, yeah, you calm down.
Who are we referring to?
I mean, they just have to get like,
keep lying.
I'm not gonna lie. It's almost like I'm like, do we like you? Really? Do we truly like you? And then once I realize that we truly like you, then we like you. Am I lying? No, that part I'm not lying about.
The fact that you asked and answered yourself.
Right.
I think says a lot.
I'm just saying, but like in the context of friendships, we have friends outside of our friend groups. And in a way, like you can have a best friend and have multiple best friends. So why not have multiple soulmates?
Then what are we calling it? If everyone can be it, then like what are we?
No, I don't think everyone can be it. I don't know if everyone can be a soulmate. I just feel like there's different parts. Like you were saying, what did you say? If you believe that there's different marriage, what are you saying about marriage? You wouldn't feel like tired.
Like if I felt like I could, like there are multiple people on this earth that were like right for me to marry.
No, like, okay. So you believe your soulmate is the person you end up with?
Well, first of all, I don't think that there's only one. Like I'm not like I think that you can have like platonic soulmates, friendship, and romantic soulmates. Like whatever. Like so, I guess from that standpoint, like it is a little. It's not simple. Like I think that like soulmate is like a phrase that like we in our human experience try to like explain like what it is. You know what I mean? So I don't think that there is like a catch-all for that really. But I do think that it comes in different forms. But if I felt like there were various opportunities for me to like meet and be romantically involved with someone that I would like put at a marriage tier that was right for me, I don't know that I would get married. To me, it's like, it's kind of like predestined. Like in a situation like, yeah, like the right things have to come together and like, yeah, you have to like grow and yeah, there are wrong turns that you could take. But I even feel like in my dating situations where I felt like there were wrong turns, they really put me on the right path to find my soulmate. You know what I mean? And
which is the end all be all for you.
Well, it's not end all be all. Like Patrick's not like everything to me, but I mean, he's close. You know what I mean? I feel like so like and that is like, I think a lot of that has to do with your attachment style, what you want out of a relationship, and all of those things are right for you. Yeah, because they are not what I seek out of a soulmate. Your soulmate's not mine because you seek something different. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me.
I feel like to me the soulmate is like the end. But then I feel like there are people in your life that need to be in your life at certain points of your life that lead you to the right path. But those people aren't necessarily your soulmates, even though they're needed in your life for you to get to for you to get to the end.
Yeah. No, I agree with that too.
I definitely agree with that too.
Definitely agree.
Landmarks.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it.
Never heard anyone say it like that, but that's really, really good.
Yeah. Wow, you be dropping. You be dropping gems.
Look at the muscle.
What? Hey, not a flex. I'm a whole muscle.
TM. Copyright pending.
Right. Have to remember that. I think that'd be a good podcast episode. Talk about the landmarks in your life.
I think we should have some.
Oh,
yeah.
What? Oh, jeez, I got landmarks. I got landmarks.
Okay.
Okay, calm down. I don't know. We probably not invite your landmarks on our podcast.
No, first of all, I would never invite any of the landmarks anywhere.
What is happening? What is happening? No.
Okay, so then let's segue for love languages. Do you think that's important to know in your friendships?
Yeah.
And do you know mine?
Look, let me just tell you.
We know just not to touch you.
I didn't even know my own love language. How am I supposed to?
You don't know your love language?
I didn't before. There was I can't even remember. I think all of us were talking. And somebody asked, and I was like, I don't.
I think I could know y'all.
Gifts and acts of service?
Yep.
Okay.
I feel like yours is quality time.
Yes, it definitely.
And words of affirmation.
Look, I looked it up and I don't even remember. I haven't.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It absolutely is quality time.
Yours is quality time and words of affirmation, I think.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You are good for that.
I'm trying to think. Yours is definitely touch.
I mean, I said it earlier, so it's not really
I
fair,
also just learned that. So there's that.
Really?
But see, I wonder if it's different in a platonic sense, because even the way that you answer the questions, you're thinking about a romantic partner. Yeah. And so I wonder how differently that would be, because we had to do this for work. And I was like, don't ever fucking touch me.
Ever. Because what I think my love language, well, first of all, what do y'all think my love language is?
I think yours is words of affirmation.
Oh, interesting.
Because what I believe it is, I wouldn't want that from y'all.
Physical touch? It's physical touch and words of affirmation.
Is it gifts?
It's acts of service.
Oh, that was what I was going to guess first.
For who? Physical touch is not one of your top love languages?
Not the shock. It's not.
What do you mean?
Nicole's love languages.
Okay, we need to pause right here.
Acts of service leads to things.
Wait, what?
No,
like you initiate it after you get some service?
What's the service? What is the act of service? Wait, hold on.
Actually, this makes sense.
What is the act of service?
Wait. If you think about it, this makes sense because Nicole is a caretaker in her household. Yes. So if someone takes something off of her plate and takes care of it in her household, she's immediately like, oh my gosh,
yes,
that was so thoughtful of you.
Even it could be this, if Harry and I go to the store and like if I'm caught up in something, if he goes in the store and comes out with my Doritos, both flavors, we mix the two in the bag. Bomb. Okay, don't look here.
What's the two flavors?
Just telling you, if you get Cool Ranch and cheesy nacho, and then dump them all in one bag, shake it together, and you just don't know what you're gonna pull out the bag.
Not the mystery of it all.
Trying to tell you, it's the best little treat. That and a Coke. Then I'm like,
okay, let's bring it back.
My heart melts.
Okay, so question.
So gifts is it there too?
I mean, to me that's kind of like an act of service tied into like. I mean, even if he came home and be like, I already unloaded the dishwasher.
Okay, so question. Do you feel, because I think you're a prime example of your romantic love language and your platonic love language might not be the same.
Oh, absolutely.
So what do you feel? So in your relationship, you feel like it's acts of service?
Yes.
And you're still going to deny physical touch?
Mm-hmm. How you're still going to deny?
Harold, just be... It's not physical touch.
Okay, fine.
Her love language and her sex drive are completely separate.
Completely different.
All right. We're keeping it PG this
right. We gotta keep it.
Okay, we're going to keep it tight.
Right.
So what is your platonic love language?
Acts of service. She lying.
No, because I don't be wanting y'all to.
You don't want us to, but you appreciate it.
I think she does. I think it's quality time, though.
See, I don't think it's quality time.
See, I think that Nicole really appreciates when we kidnap her. Or when we just pop up.
Or do we just appreciate when
even like if we were to just pop up on Carol will be like, why are you here? It would not
I'm not coming to the door.
It would not be like a feeling of welcome, right? Because that's not what she needs. But with Nicole, like even when she's like, no, don't come. Like, I don't need anything. Like, it's fine. When we actually pop up, Nicole is elated that we're there. And she really needs the break of like, everything else that she's dealing with.
That's fair.
See, and that's why I feel like yours is words of affirmation. Because I feel like as much as you don't want to hear that you're doing a good job, that you're killing it, that things are doing, you know, that you're doing like, you're not giving yourself enough credit. I feel like sometimes you...
So then those, I mean, it could very well be that those two are my top for platonic situations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with that. I think that the difference... Well, I'm speaking on Nicole, sorry. But I think that the difference is that the words of affirmation are momentous. Where like not the quality time takes her out of...
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I would agree with that. My friends know me, y'all.
Meanwhile, me trying to describe it for myself.
Me trying to remember the test that I took.
Know me.
So do you guys feel like now that we're talking about that you're platonic... Oh, what's your love language?
Romantically? Or
I don't know. That made me feel uncomfortable. So let's say platonic.
When you said that, I was like,
I'm not going to say yes.
Yeah, I don't like that. Let's say platonic.
Okay, platonically, probably quality time. I don't like when I'm around people. Like my biggest thing is I don't like people on their phones when I'm around people.
Ma'am.
Listen.
You were always on your phone.
No, stop. But when I'm talking to friends,
she sounds like me.
When we're actually having a conversation and I'm not around, like we're not doing anything else, we're strictly just supposed to be having fun together and like we don't have that much time together. I don't want it to be spent doing other things. I want to actually like
hang out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if I'm
you don't want to be
arranging
distracted.
something. Yeah.
Okay.
I understand that.
So quality time is yours?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to ask that question for you. So
What's yours platonically?
I don't think mine have changed. I like presents and
so it's the same romantically and platonically.
Yeah, I think mine are gifts and acts of service across the board.
Okay.
Man, I never buy you gifts.
Right.
You're so hard to buy for.
I am. But if you notice, like how we love is how we treat each other, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true. I think because I give gifts. Because I like receiving gifts. I love giving gifts.
Right.
Okay.
But I also am like, y'all want me to cook for you? What y'all need? Let me help you.
Acts of service.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I am a hugger of this group. I don't be hugging a lot of people, but I hug y'all.
Wait a minute. I walked in the door and I was like, oh,
I know. Yesterday I was like, I'm hugging Nicole today. I don't care what happens.
You're also like, love you guys, bye. You're all like, okay, girl.
I'm like, this is good in my life, but I know they love me too.
And Sai, do you feel like yours are the same?
Like y'all said so. Girl, I don't even remember.
I feel like words of affirmation is big for you because you're constantly encouraging people.
Her aftershade is like 20 minutes long.
Your sermonettes are like all of our text messages.
Is that your words of affirmation for Saya?
Yeah. That's like last week. 2 weeks ago.
Every time.
So you really don't know yours?
I did the test.
What did the test say? Man.
Oh.
I didn't know I had to know
feel like
this.
it is? If you had to choose, do you like being touched? Do you like...
That sounds so crazy. No.
That's right. Later on.
Sounded like a creeper. Sorry. I didn't mean to sound like a creeper.
Do you like being touched?
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't mean it in that way.
It's okay. Maybe...
Service.
Acts of service.
Isn't there one more?
Yeah.
There is. Like, yeah, I don't know why we were missing.
Physical touch.
Oh, quality time.
That's what it is.
I think that you enjoy quality time.
Yeah.
That's what it's probably either
the way
acts of service.
So it's words of affirmation,
physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and receiving gifts.
Yeah, so it's not receiving gifts. It's not. It may actually be words of affirmation. That might actually be it, because now that I think about it,
nailed it. Carol did, not me, obviously. Even though I still think it's quality time, that's fine.
Well, I mean, if we around each other, you'd be saying something.
What?
I mean, if we're time spent together can be used with words, and why not?
But do you mean? Do you feel like in quality time you can't just sit in silence and just be present?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not. We actually don't have to do a lot of talking.
Okay,
but I mean, if you're gonna say something, words of affirmation are.
Yeah, like, I didn't know.
You're great, Syed. You are a woman here.
I didn't know either.
Let's go back to fashion the show.
I feel like, yeah. I mean, my 1-2 punch is touch and affirmation, but I feel like from y'all, like affirmation, like does a lot for me.
Touch my body.
Okay, let's
more than yeah.
Okay, Mariah.
Right. Let's move on.
I just feel like that one love language, that's immediately where I go. Like, touch is Mariah.
Ew.
Like, not
the song.
Oh, okay.
So this is getting weird. Really, really.
But I feel like as friends, we do a really good job of like, no,
knowing each other's language.
Yeah. Well, not even just that. I was gonna say of affirming each other, like outside of like aftershade, like in like real life situations. Yeah, like we do a good job.
They be building me up. They do.
Oh. That's a slow clap.
So do you guys feel, okay, so we're going back to like intimacy and romantic relationships versus platonic ones. Do you guys feel like touching is important in your platonic relationships? Like, are you guys frolicking in fields and
holding hands? In the world of panorama, don't touch me.
That was our world before the panorama.
Mm-hmm.
There are very few people who like I would allow to touch me. I don't
like holding hands or like hugging.
I don't like that.
Okay, I feel the same. That's what we're
y'all family.
I like can't imagine like walking down the street like holding y'all's hands. Like I would.
First, I feel like that's an extreme.
I want to do the social study of it.
No, I feel like my palms are sweating like just thinking about it. Like I'm so nervous.
I feel like that's an extreme. Like us walking down the street holding hands.
But I have seen girls like that.
Greeting,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Hug, like
we don't even do that. We just stand next to each other.
Hey, girl.
The only time I feel like that's like if I'm somewhere around a lot of people.
Thanks, Patrick, for opening the door.
You're going somewhere.
Like to stay, to make sure we stay like close.
Yeah, like if I'm like, okay,
lost.
come with me, we're going somewhere. But then like there's around a lot of people, but I'm letting go of your hand when we get to where we need to go.
Girl, you got
like walking through like music festivals and like that kind of situations. I guess I'm trying to think of like the capacities in which I see people like same-sex humans like holding hands.
So I've never
like,
seen friends hold hands.
I guess that's the only situation.
Where do you go?
Music festivals. School. I feel like that happens.
Yeah, I feel like it was when I was younger for sure. I feel like it was definitely like a high school, maybe even college.
Or even like linking arms if it's not holding hands. Like sometimes
or even like walking to the club. Because you know, it'd be like same thing. Like if it's like really, really a lot of people walking around like, okay like let's go.
Arm in arm. I've seen that. Like if you go into the club, like hurry up. We're trying to get in here before 11 o'clock. So it's free. But outside of that, why there's no
we just saw a clip of, what was it, Normani and Chloe and some other girl like walking and holding hands, like frolicking pretty much on Instagram.
It's interesting. Are we weird or are they? That's the question at hand.
It might be us. I'm pretty sure it's actually us.
It may be us.
Well, I just, again, for me, like I'm not even hugging you if I'm walking in a room or if I'm leaving. So I know that's just not something I'm doing, but you might. So would you frolic? Holding hands?
I don't know. It was going to come right at my chest. No, I'm not interested in holding hands. Even like romantically, like I guess before Patrick, like it just.
What does that mean?
It just made me want to hurl like the
holding his hand.
Not his specifically, but just like romantically holding hands. It just feels like sweaty and gross. Like when I think about it from like before I knew Patrick, when I was thinking about like holding hands. Like it just made me feel cringy. And now I'd be holding his hand all the time. He'd be like, "Why are we in Giant walking
down the chip aisle?"
I have his pinky, and I'm like, but platonically, like I don't have that same drive. Like I don't. Sometimes it does feel weird for me. Like I think because of like pandemic and just like how we are, like sometimes I'll have to realize like, oh, I didn't actually like greet you when you walked in. You know what I mean? And so like sometimes then that does like. I'm like, oh, I should have like hugged you or like whatever. But sometimes I do just feel like people need hugs. Like I never feel like that about you.
No way, actually, it's your shoulder.
Actually, that's not true. Sometimes I feel like you need a hug the most. But I never
and she
like
shrinks away.
I don't try to like force it on people. Sometimes I just like just
Carol.
like
what happens.
No, sometimes I just like want people to like know that it's like like it's okay. Like we're good. You know,
I have
mean?
severe
like
anxiety entering and leaving a room because I know someone's going to try and hug.
Sometimes I touch you like to make you uncomfortable. I know like there have been times where I just like have like just leaned on Carol because
she has, or she'll come up to me and be like, I'll be like, "Why are you touching me?"
But it just makes you feel weird, and that's fun sometimes.
Oh, I'm glad my misery brings you so much joy.
Hey, guys want to see something much?
But that's what's fine line. Even like with my son, I think I've told you guys that I've had to learn how to like his love language is physical touch, and he loves hugging and like kissing and like just being in your face.
Do you think that's while he is like learning how to like formulate words and
his dad's love language is physical touch?
I know. No, I'm just like asking like, do you think that that's like more of an ode to his age or that's just who he is?
I can't tell yet.
Okay.
I think as he gets older, maybe we'll see. Because even now, like I used to could just drop him off and he would go in daycare and be like, "Bye, Mom." But now he'll come back like, "I want a hug" or "I want a kiss" before I leave. So I don't know. It's hard navigating, making sure I'm fulfilling his love language, but also being true to myself.
Back up.
No, because I feel like I've seen you be really very affectionate towards him.
I am, and there's sometimes I'm just like.
I think it might be because though, like a lot of times when y'all would leave, y'all would be like, "Hey Trey, give me a kiss or give me a hug." So you might have developed like, "Okay, I'm leaving." Like,
and that's what happens when you leave.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Well, I think it's also interesting knowing your mom and that she is
very much hugger and toucher.
Yeah.
Actually, like most of the generation above us is like very.
I think they equate it with respect.
Yeah, they do.
And that's why I've had to like, which is really hard for me. Is people feel like I'm being disrespectful when I'm just honoring myself in that moment.
I prefer a hug to like the arm squeeze. I like the middle ground for them is like often like
my dad.
And I'm like especially if it's like after I've lifted, like if you touch my tricep one more time.
First of all, my dad is an arm squeezer. He's like, "Hey, baby," and I'm
because it's never that light. It's
always
mildly painful.
Well, there's that, and then. So I've never had the heart to tell him, like, so I have fibromyalgia. And so sometimes when you squeeze
me, it actually hurts.
It actually hurts.
Oh, my reflex would have been like, psh.
Yes.
My dad does that. And I know that's his term of endearment. So I'm just like,
with tears in
and
your
then
eyes.
I'm like waiting to adjust. And then I'm like, okay, let's just hug it.
See, and that's when I got to the point where I'm no longer going to be uncomfortable for your comfort.
Yeah.
And I know, even I know you don't mean no harm.
Right.
I know you're trying to be sweet, but I am physically uncomfortable in this moment.
Right.
Yeah.
And I need just that.
So how do you avoid it though?
Carol's swerve is me.
I will.
It's also
She's a ninja.
I feel like I'm good at like not even swerving. It's just like it doesn't. It's kind of like
you give
when you like see people like in like a hallway and you're like, oh, if you make eye contact, I'll say hi. But it's like Carol doesn't give you a window.
I've also made it very clear that I don't like to be touched and hugged. So it's now it's like a running joke. People just know.
Yeah.
So it's no longer because I was even at a conference and I work in an industry where people are huggers, which is also very weird to me.
In a work environment?
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
Yeah. At all. And so my boss hugged someone she knew. And so he came to me. He was like, "Oh, hi, I'm so-so." And I was just like, "I'm Carol." He's like, "Oh, you're not a hugger?" I was like, "No."
That's weird.
For multiple reasons.
Not from your chest.
But yeah, I feel like I've made it very clear. I'll put a hand up, I'll put my hand out so people know that there's a boundary here and touching me is not a part of it.
That's fair.
Yeah, do what you got to do.
Yeah. Did your brothers ever do the thing where like they like hover over your face and go, "I'm not touching you"?
Probably.
Just to irritate you. I'm just scared.
But only one of my brothers is like, Alardis is the hugger, and he's like the physical touch. Her dad.
Yes.
Yeah, my Adolphus is like, he will, but he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
So I feel like we will just kind of,
dap it up.
Yeah, or
just speak.
Or like a little church, like.
A side hug.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, well.
Yeah, I don't. I can't.
How did we get
It's called segues.
Tangent. One thing we're going to do is tangent.
Mari is us every podcast.
Okay, first of all, this is all a free-flowing conversation, to be fair. This is not even a tangent yet.
Yes.
You haven't even seen a tangent. Speaking of tangents.
Right. Speaking of tangent. That's the best segue ever.
Okay. Well, new segment alert.
We literally put it on a plate for you.
I didn't realize it was time.
It's my turn.
I apologize.
We made a feast and was like,
You made it really clear, and still I dropped it.
One thing we gonna do is tangent.
Pregnant pause. Everyone stares at me. Yeah, I'm on it. Okay, so last week when we were missing Carol, we had a new segment idea. Mainly, I have a list of notes in my phone of just like random questions I don't know the answer to, but I refuse to Google because I feel like they're very interesting to talk about in a group.
Okay, so we can't Google. That's part of the rule.
Well, no, you can't Google it because some of them probably do have an answer, but I don't. This one doesn't though. This one is like personal to you guys. I have a good one today. Okay. Do you ever think about who you would be typecasted as if you were an actor?
Yes. I know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do too.
Okay, I'm so ready.
Okay, I'll go first since I'm so positive.
Yeah.
Me too, and I feel like I know yours too.
Is it a church lady?
So one, there's the church lady, but there are very specific actors that even Harry's like, babe, you on TV. I'm like, if you don't shut the entire hell up, we about to box. So Niecy from Being Mary Jane.
Oh, okay.
She's one. And I'm like, not every chunky Black girl is me or me, her. But that's fine. So there's that. There is Amber Riley.
Well, they're also always confused.
Right. They're also very confused. And then Auntie Nikki Parker. Monique.
So do you feel like these actors are akin to like your personality type?
I would say maybe things I like to do. Amber Riley.
Yeah, I was about to say. Of everyone, I could see that one.
Yeah. Probably that, but first no, the other one.
Yeah, because
I also don't know the other actress like in her real life. I only know her on Being Mary, so I can't really.
Oh, she was just in that movie like on Lifetime, Kill Her Best Friend, like My Sister. Like it was some random show with the two of them were on there. And that's why I was like, I could see aspects of them. I feel like you're definitely like the fun auntie in the kitchen throwing shade at everybody.
Yeah, like actually last night, literally, my niece said, "You are definitely the Medea of the family." I was like, I'm fine. I'll take that. Just don't try me because you might get cut.
As you pull the gun from your pocketbook, right?
I mean, whatever. But I think that's who I would get typecasted as.
Okay.
What's your answer?
I mean, I feel like I would be like the Whitley Gilbert, like the bougie light skin.
I did not
Rich
see that
auntie, I feel like is what I would be. No?
Me either.
No,
Good.
I was thinking about what people always confuse you for. It's Alicia Keys.
But I'm
an actress though.
But we're talking about personality or people.
Yeah, but I don't see you as, hi, I'm Whitley Gilbert. I don't see you
Maybe
like
she means
that.
like last season versus first season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she had evolved a little bit.
Yeah, like, I don't think I'm completely aloof to world events and what's happening.
Okay, all right.
But,
Well, then that's fair.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys don't agree. So what do you think?
I don't know if
what for
I
you
didn't
or for
agree as much as I didn't expect it. But now that you mention, who do I think?
I feel like I could see you being Regine from Living Single though.
And I feel like they have similar qualities.
Oh, you're thinking the same thing?
I was thinking.
So like I understand. I don't think Regine is as. She's not like as stereotypical but she's also not as annoying. And because she's like shady with Maxine, who I resonate with, I feel like it really makes sense.
Wow, we were living single characters. Who would we all be?
I would definitely be Queen Latifah.
No, you wouldn't.
Why not? I'm not Sinclair. Don't you try it. I am not flighty.
You are flighty, but not that type of flighty.
What type of flighty do you think I am?
No, I mean from the standpoint of not wanting to ever be around. We can't ever find you flighty.
Oh, Sinclair's stupid though.
Yeah, right. So let's just stop this.
I was like, ooh, she's fun, but she is a dummy. I'm watching Living Single right now from the beginning. That's the only reason why.
Are you watching on Hulu?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
So since there's your question, have you thought about
No, I hadn't. I feel like
Gabrielle Union, I feel like is always every single one of her videos. I feel like.
So I understand that, but I feel like that's not like a typecast because she's not. I feel like she plays so many like different. I guess
she always play different roles.
She always plays the mean girl.
Okay, but
I wouldn't call you a mean girl.
By the Dozen, is that her role?
Did you watch? Has anyone seen that yet?
I haven't yet. It keeps popping up,
and I just haven't watched it yet.
She's kind of a mean girl in LA's Finest.
I actually like her in that.
I do too. She's not as much.
Gives me boss in that.
She does. It's more boss than mean girl, but she also has that same like offstandish, like guarded.
I liked her in Bad Boys too.
It's the same role.
Yeah, I feel like, I feel like Maxine.
I wasn't being shady.
No, I understand. I just hadn't seen LA's Finest, so that's good for me to know. Yeah. I feel like Maxine is also like it, and like I also feel like a little Claire Huxtable, but I don't have kids yet. But I am that like kind of spicy, like no nonsense, like cut straight to the.
I don't feel like you're that wholesome though.
I never found Claire to be, not that she's not wholesome, like she's not ratchet or anything, but like that's just never how I would have defined her.
Okay, I feel like she's a little wholesome, little shady.
Okay, I hope to be a little wholesome when I have
I'm not even lying. And maybe it's the look. Every time I think of Claire Huxtable, Felicia Rashad, I think of your mom. Like it gives me.
They do have very similar.
They do. They have similar tastes or whatever. It's something.
Is that St. John's? Like
give me something.
Something. Yeah, Maxine is probably it for me though, because I just she's the best.
I can see the spicy for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I don't really know what characteristics I've got.
She's also really smart, and you're very smart.
Agreed.
Because you say a lot of words. I'm like, Google.
First of all, I'm like,
mean.
why? But in every conversation, I'm just like, why should I use these big ass words?
Right. Like, what do you have like a thesaurus? Sorry, a thesaurus next to your regular. What are you saying?
Sorry,
it's fine. It's fine. We just need to separate.
We're just learning things on the.
I literally Google a word that you text once a week.
I hate you.
And I just be like, yeah, I totally agree. That was definitely egregious.
Not me never knowing. Being like, okay, she sees my point.
Just know when there's a slight pause in between when Carol responds and you say something.
Carol has been talking for a long time. She paused to Google the definition of the word.
Yeah, or am I going back? How do you spell that? Okay.
Copy paste.
What are you saying? Who are you talking to?
Okay, typecast. Mara, do you have one?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was trying to think. I would probably say the girl from Bridgerton, the one who's always uncomfortable.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because I don't like...
It's so hard
to No, because Kamari is like... She fits well in like a lot of situations. She also has like these really random awkward moments where she creates... I feel like she likes being awkward or like making other people feel awkward.
Sometimes.
Does it backfire sometimes? Is that what happens?
I feel like sometimes people are like...
I vividly remember right before this, you said, just don't be awkward.
Yeah.
Too hard.
Well,
there's some things where it's like, okay, I'm cool here. But then like 5 seconds later, I'll be like, I don't really feel comfortable anymore. And then I'll say something that's like off. And then everyone would just look at me and just like, yeah, I'm done talking for the night.
I can wholeheartedly relate to that.
Or like, is it like you're uncomfortable? She's like, I'm going to make everybody uncomfortable.
Sometimes
violent.
But then it's also like I'm uncomfortable, so I say something to see if that'll make me less comfortable. But then it doesn't.
You mean more comfortable?
No, like
oh, you're trying to make it more awkward?
No, I'm trying to make it so that like, okay, like there have been times where like everyone's talking and I'm kind of just like, So then I try and like just think of something to say, but then it doesn't work.
So like you're trying to get invested in the conversation.
Yeah, or like I'll try to make it so I'm in a space where I am more comfortable.
Okay.
But it backfires and then I'm just like,
Like sometimes I feel like starting a conversation sometimes when people are like, you're like, are you thinking about what I said? Or did I just say the wrong thing?
Right. Yeah, or I'll realize that like I said something that doesn't even match up with what's going on.
I'm the way too. I remember I was at a work conference and probably drinking, a little overserved, probably more than I should have been. And when I'm nervous, I do a lot of talking about like random stuff. I mean, I do anyway. And my coof level just kind of like plummets.
At work? Cool level?
Coof. Like,
oh no,
when you're at work.
Your coof level.
Yeah, I did. And so
at work?
I got same thing. I was nervous. I feel like everyone was talking. I just wanted to be invested. I was like, have y'all seen that documentary about the 100-pound scrotum? They're all gonna be like,
stop! Just do something else.
And they were just like, yeah, cool documentary. So about that, about Russia and Ukraine, it's really wild what's happening.
Call me over here. That's where I'm about to go.
I was just trying to lighten up the conversation.
Everybody moves away.
Yeah, and I'm just like.
Meanwhile, that was the problem in the first place.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we already here.
Goodness gracious. It's the worst.
It is.
Sorry, who you typecasted as?
So I have no answer for this, but I was sitting here and I was like, "Ooh, it'd be fun to see somebody crazy like I don't know if you've watched the HBO show Gentleman Jack, but the lead on there is very European. It's a woman that is a lesbian, and I don't even know when, but in Europe. So she's wearing the petticoats and all that other type of stuff. Just seeing somebody pretentiously playing me like that would be hilarious. I don't know why that came up in my mind, but I was like, that would be funny.
I could see that being awesome, actually.
That's all I got for y'all. I don't know anybody else. I was like, I don't feel like any character that I can remember like being somebody that I resonated with, like, and saw myself, or being me. So I don't really have an answer for that.
I feel like the first character I can think of is the Harlem.
I was just about to say that,
but I don't know that she encompassses you. I just think it's the only example I have.
That I feel like even like
commentary in and of itself.
Yeah, or even
Sorry,
like
bad question.
Alina Waithe, where it's just kind of like in The Shy, where she wasn't like. That's not a great example, but I just feel like she was very comfortable in her own skin. She was unapologetically herself. Like,
okay, wait, not Lena Waithe in The Shy, because I didn't like her in The Shy. You know what I'm going to say?
What?
You don't agree?
Say it.
I don't want to say if it's.
No, I don't find any offense in it. I was like, okay, I had forgot about it.
We'll say it.
Master of None.
I didn't watch that.
Okay, so
is that what you thought?
No, I was thinking about the other.
Yeah. You don't think that?
No. I watched that also, but I do. That would resonate. Yes.
Okay.
Way more.
So Master of None is a show with Aziz Ansari.
And
he had a show, and Lena Waithe is a character in it. And there was a whole like Thanksgiving episode where she like came out to her family, and it was.
That's where she got her star at. I mean, where her star blew up.
Right. And so it was, I actually remember talking to you about that. So I had forgotten about that show. Too. But yeah, that was probably
I don't watch the show. Maybe I should.
It's very interesting. It's not, I don't think it's, I think there were like 2 seasons.
Yeah. Before he got in.
Yeah.
Before he got in what?
He had some sexual assault.
He's not canceled, but kind of. The show got canceled.
Yeah.
This is getting a
I don't know. It's getting awkward.
Well, now I want to know what show Saya thought you were talking about.
The other, she's not a musical artist on the show, but she plays on The Shy. What's the young boy's mom's girlfriend?
Oh, I know you're talking about
the social worker.
Yeah, she's a social worker.
Yeah.
She be her son's baby be crying all the time. Wait.
No.
No.
You know the mom with the afro,
like all
with the natural hair, and she has the 2 kids. So
she
like
has
the main
character,
the wife. You're talking about the wife.
Yeah. So her wife.
I don't know none of their names, and I'm having a hard time.
What's the boy's name? Isn't it Kevin?
Yes, Kevin's stepmom.
Kevin's stepmom.
Oh, okay. Oh, Kevin. Okay. I'm seeing it. All right.
I can absolutely see that.
But I feel like they all have the same type of qualities, like very unapologetically themselves, very they're philanthropists.
Can I also say their fashions is always on it?
Oh, see, I found her to be annoying because of how she was trying to like mother Kevin sometimes. And I was like,
she's a stepmom.
I know. So like sometimes I'd be like, is this your role or should your wife be doing this?
So that's a whole conversation.
Hey, that's another podcast.
Does the stepmom have say?
Oh, I bet you guys.
I think there is, but I also think there's a moment of like earning it, and I don't know what that blend is. But
right,
just because my parents choose to remarry, that doesn't mean I have a step parent.
There's so much happening. All right, let's go on. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about me about that wig. Okay, so this week it comes from the Introvert Nation. I thought it was very timely to our conversation. It says, putting myself out there, puts myself back because what the F was I thinking?
I need to find this. I need to follow it.
Yep, I do follow this page because it's so great.
Go ahead and share with Nicole.
Yeah, because it's like,
please, thank you. Yeah. Please share it with me. I appreciate it.
Share with all of us. Was because that the only honestly, one you had?
Oh, you want another one? Wow. Okay.
I was just curious.
Okay. I mean, I was prepared with one more.
Sometimes you have more than one.
Okay, put me out there. Put me on the spot. Let me find the other one I found. Okay, it says, this is from Moms Be Behaving Badly. And it says, I don't know the secret to happiness, but I'll tell you what, I've never been sad at a Mexican restaurant.
Hey. I've seen that one before. And
you
are not wrong.
Leo Plaza makes me very happy.
Elated, in fact.
I think our friendship has been based on
Mexican restaurants.
Various Mexican restaurants.
Guac and queso. and margaritas.
The serving sizes, the margaritas. They got frozen margaritas. There's so many options. There's so many opportunities for joy.
Queso and chips. That's it.
Most of our life moments have been celebrated at a Mexican restaurant.
Wait, what you say? I'm sorry. I was laughing at Nicole.
I'm sorry.
No, say it again. It's back.
Most of our life moments have been celebrated at a Mexican restaurant.
Oh, yeah, they have. I actually was looking at a video.
She don't like guac, so she's looking like,
Try the queso instead.
I like queso. I like queso.
Okay, well then
there's a little bit of brown beef in it.
Yes. See? We already together. This smile is on everybody's face.
So good.
All right, well, now it's time for aftershave.
Not you trying to zen out.
Right. After been hot and spicy this whole episode.
It's time to be calm and cool and collected and tell the people how they can move forward with their lives.
Really?
To our aftershade. Would anyone like to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. Because this feels weird.
Hurry up.
Let's see. I would like to speak. I would like to release the burdens of societal norms on people, and that we've been conditioned to feel like our life partners or our life is contingent on our happiness is contingent on like romantic relationships, and or there's a heavy emphasis on that, I will say. And so I would say that if that's not your path or that's not something you're looking that you would like for your life, that's okay. I think that what these two girls have found happiness in each other and they've decided to build their life with each other is amazing. They haven't let what their parents think, because they're both, is Asian inappropriate?
I think that is the correct one.
I don't know. I'm just trying not to be offensive. I don't know.
Sure that's
okay.
Not you thinking Asian is a slur.
Not a slur, but I don't know if that's like politically
if
correct.
More, another broader.
Okay.
Turn.
No, that's
I think that
This is getting offensive.
Our aftershave took a turn. I just want to say these two beautiful Asian young women. I love that you guys have found happiness despite your cultural norms and what people feel like should be a path for you. So I just would like to speak that upon everyone. And on that note, I think we should end the podcast.
Oh my God. Jesus.
I am sweating. I am uncomfortable.
No.
That wasn't even me this time.
I'm so sorry. To anyone listening, that was not at all. We were trying to share what we should be using, and that was just an example of what you should not.
Right.
Okay? This is just an example of what you should not.
That's exactly what it was.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
So sorry. So sorry. And we are laughing at the fact that she said it inappropriately.
We're laughing because we're uncomfortable.
Yes. And don't know what to do with our hands.
Oh,
my goodness.
It's really bad.
I can't even put that it's getting offensive. It is already here.
Wow. So who would like to go next?
It got hot.
Very. Like,
oh, Jesus. Don't cancel us. I promise you, we are literally we're getting together as an example of what you just do not say. Ooh.
Oh. Not turn your glass up.
Okay, I'll go next. I think for my affirmation, I want to kind of piggyback a little bit on what Carol had to say with regards to these women made a decision based on the people that mattered, and that was themselves. And so I want to affirm for our listeners and our viewers that the only way people know how to move in life is once you've made the decision that you truly believe in and can move in with no problems. And what you see in this video with these ladies is they made that choice, they were okay with that choice, and they moved forward with it and didn't care what anyone else thought. They gave a great interview as to why they thought it was important to live this way. And even though it's something I don't see for myself, what I do know is I can't say nothing about it because they're good. And I think that that's the thing I want to affirm for everybody. If you're able to get into that space and live your life, people will move accordingly after that. All you got to do is affirm who you are, know who you are, find some people who will help support who you are, and then the rest you can make up whatever type of relationship you want to make up with regards to your friendships and your romantic relationships, and people just have to get in line. So I just affirm finding that space and being able to stay in that space. Thanks.
I'll go next. I just want to affirm to our listeners that there is no right way to do life. I feel like a lot of times when these conversations happen, it's like centered on, is this appropriate? What does this mean? Like, and it's conjecture for people that pontificate on that are not going to apply it to their lives. You know what I mean? If you're good,
yes.
Google.
I hate you guys so much.
The fact that both of us like, yep, that's the word.
Right.
That's it. Right
My word for later. Pontificate.
Sorry, not to go
ahead,
off.
continue.
I'm sure she's gonna give us one more.
You so goddamn smart.
Whatever.
Anyway, SAT ain't got nothing on you.
She didn't even got the source. She just off the dome.
Tired.
Off the dome.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Pontificate. Is where you were. You want some
all that say, if you are living your life and you are happy, like happiness is the goal of life, right? So that's what we're all striving towards in various ways, various facets, all the things that we think are going to get us to happiness. So if you're there, it's for other people to figure out how to move around you. It's not for you to figure out how to move throughout society. If you are sure in what you want and what is leading you to happiness. And if that is something that you've never seen before and you're formulating it, then if it's true, if it feels true for you, then it's yours. And so I affirm that to our listeners that may be trying to figure out things that they don't have words for, that there are no phrases for, that things that they haven't seen played out yet because it doesn't exist yet. I feel like there's a lot of that happening right now, especially in interpersonal relationships, like people trying to figure out how to lead lives in new ways. And if that is what's right for you, then it's yours. And yeah, that's it. I hate it here.
Before you go and have our whole podcast take it down from the internet.
Oh, wait, what about
Do you have anything you want to say? Come on.
Yeah. So
just slice it off again.
Don't cancel me. Please don't cancel me.
Slice.
I feel like trying new things is good. And if you feel like your heart is in a certain place, or you feel like you're in a place where you want to do something and you have a way to do it, you have a plan to do it, you shouldn't be scared of what can happen. I feel like more people need to live in the moment of, okay, this is what I want to do right now and what can happen. You know, that'll happen. You shouldn't be scared to take chances because of the future, because then you just deal with it.
That was good. You get claps too.
Love the young blood. Okay.
All right, Nicole, go ahead.
Talking bars.
I should say, go ahead. Like that. Just don't cancel me. Just don't cancel me. That's all I'm saying.
That's your affirmation.
My affirmation for whoever is still listening. Carol, ready with the trigger finger, is just do just do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy. Forget the opinions of others because people don't know sometimes what you're going through when you're going through it. They haven't walked in your shoes. And if they walked in your shoes, then okay, maybe take it with a grain of salt. But even still, your specific situation is your situation. If you want to be who you want to be, how you want to be it, grow in your life, just do what you want to do. That's how I'm living my life these days. Do what you want to do.
Hey.
Period.
Period.
Hey, Pooh.
Yeah, just like that.
Thanks, Nicole, for that very eloquent.
You're fired. That's why I'm gonna hug you after this.
Oh, wow, the threat. Jesus. Well, guys, it's a good time.
That'd be a showcase of love, but it's violence.
Thanks for coming, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.